Hello everyone. So for this video, I'm going to be talking about strings, which are another relatively simple data type. They're not primitive, however. I'll get to that in a second. So strings are a collection of letters or symbols, or any characters really. Um, and if you watch the video on the primitive data types, you'll know how to declare and initialize any basic data type such as these. So as we know, to declare a data type, you would write the keyword. So for strings, this is string. And then we would type the name that we want the variable to have. So for this one, I'll just make this, I don't know, string 1, I guess, just because. Now, onto the basic initialization of it. For a string, if you don't put an equal sign there to assign it anything, this just gets the value of null. It's just null, which means that it doesn't hold any data. So that would string 1 would be null there. However, for a basic string, you'd write an equal sign and quotation marks, and then any letters or symbols that you want to include in your string. So we'll start with the most basic expression used in basic programming tutorials, which is hello world. Just type that there and close that with another set of quotation marks. Hello world right inside there. That's going to be the value held by your string, and close that with a semicolon. And so yeah, so that's a basic string. Now, escape characters are also an integral part of these basic strings. Let's say I wanted to create another string. Let's say string 1 said, I don't know, something that somebody else said. So Joe said, now let's say I want to use quotation marks here. Joe said, hi, right? Well, this is conflicting with these quotation marks on the outside that define what's inside this string. So using an escape character, which is a backslash, we put those right before those slashes there, and that indicates that those quotation marks are supposed to be in here. So if I type system.out.println 1, sorry, I wasn't thinking that's not a string. I don't want that to actually print out the value in string 1. That will actually print out the quotation marks because I put the backslashes in there right before the quotation marks. That indicates that those are actually part of the string. They're not ending the string like this one is. And let me just cover the basic system.out.println statement, because I haven't done that yet either. So I've used this for a bunch of examples. This is used a lot with strings to print stuff out. And basically all that does is it prints whatever's in here to the terminal. So this printed the value held by string 1, which is there. Or if I wanted to actually print out the word string 1, I could just directly put quotation marks in there. So yeah, so that's just the basic way to do it, print line. And what that does is it prints it out, and then whatever you're printing next goes on the next line. If that just said print, the next thing you print goes on the same line. So yeah, so that's the basics. Now I'm going to talk about concatenation, which is another important concept to know when dealing with strings. So say string 1 was, just to go back to the hello world example, say string 1 was hello. And we could make, actually I'm just going to leave it a print line statement, string 2 is world. Now we could create another string called, I don't know, full string. And here you can use the plus sign to indicate that you want to put those two other strings together. So I could put string 1 plus string 2, and then I could print out the value held by full string. And here, this is just going to print hello world. And as you can see, there's no space in there because I didn't put anything in. But say I added a space right here at the end of the word, at the end of the word hello, or one at the beginning of the word world, that would just add a string in there. And you can also use concatenation directly. For example, I could just type hello plus the word world. I would do the same thing. Or hello plus string 2 without the quotation marks there. So that'll write the word hello plus string 2, which is here. That all works for concatenation. Now, there are a lot of different methods that work with strings, which I'm just going to cover the basic 4 that are covered in the AP curriculum, even though there are a lot more that you can learn to use. So, as I mentioned in my last video, a double equals sign here can be used to determine if two things are equal. However, with strings, because they're not primitive, that's not going to work. So we're going to use a method called dot equals. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to print out the result of string 1 dot equals string 2. So you're comparing the first string to the second string, which goes in the parentheses. Now, this is going to print out false because the word hello is not the same as the word world. But if that also said hello with the same capitalization, and I try to print that here, that's going to be true. So onto some other methods other than dot equals. We have dot length, which is a pretty basic one. So I'm just going to create another variable here. This will actually be an int because the dot length method returns an int. So int, I'll just call it string length. I don't know. String length equals, or sorry, gets. And I'm just going to write string 1 here, which is getting this, dot length with parentheses at the end of the length. And you'll see this will matter that you use parentheses here because other data types use other variations of this. And here, if I print out string length, that should be 5, right? Because there are 5 characters in the word hello here. So I'm going to run this. And yep, there we go. It's 5. So that's the basic dot length method. On to the next important one. I'm just going to, put it down here. Dot index of. So this is when you want to locate a character, or like a single character, or even a collection of them in a longer string. So again, this will give you an int. So I'll just label that LOC for location. Gets string 1 dot index of, and here you put in what you're looking for. So say we were looking for the letter, or the H, the capital H. So, and then here print line LOC. Oops. So this should print out 0 because, as you know in programming, strings, as is shared with many other data types and in other circumstances, the first character actually has the index of 0 instead of 1. So if we print out that will give us 0. And if you, so say I put in E, that would be 1, L would be 2, because it gives you the first location of it. So L appears at index 2 and 3 here, but that would just give you 2. And then O would be 4. Don't have to print those out to show you. But it also works with more than one character. So say you were looking for HE, that would give you 0 because the beginning of that appears at right here at index 0. And I can print that out to show you as well, just to show that works. It's also 0. There's another variation of, oh wait, sorry, no, the index, dot index of, that's basics on that. was thinking of the substring method, which is the next thing we're getting to, also very important for the AP test. So for the substring method, that is going to return a string. So I'm just going to create a string called sub here. And sub will get string 1, just to go back to that example, dot substring. And there are two variations of this method, and that's what I was thinking about earlier. If you just put one value in here, that will be the starting index of what you want to take out of your first string, which is this. So say I put 0 here, and I print out sub. That will give you the entire word hello, because it starts at index 0, right here. And if you just have one value in here, one value, that will go all the way to the end. So here, sub will equal, or will have the same value as string 1, which is the entire word hello. It goes all the way to the end of that string. But if you put another value in here, it will go up until that index, but not including that index. So if I put substring 0, 1, that will just get this first character there, the first letter, because E is at index 1, but it doesn't include that. It just gets the H. So if sub gets string 1 dot substring of 0, 1, that will just print out the letter H. Or if I, let's say, just did 3 to 4, as you can see, the same rules apply, and it just gets the L. Or 2 to 4 would give you LL. So you can see how that works. And the last major important method that you need to know about strings for the AP test is the .compareto method. And this basically just tells you of two methods, which one, or sorry, not two methods, two strings, which one comes first in the alphabet. So say, I'm just going to change these around for this example. Say string 1 gets the letter A, string 2 gets the letter B. Now I will create another, or actually, you know what, I'm just going to put this one right in the print method. Print line, we're going to print string 1 dot compare to, and in parentheses, string 2. So in alphabetically, string 1 comes before string 2, right? So when I print this out, this is going to, wait, what did I do here? String index out of range. Okay, so this is still trying to get, I changed what string 1 was, so I'm just going to get rid of this. That's not hello anymore. There we go. Okay. That's a bit annoying. This is going to be here, but whatever. So sorry. So this method gives you a negative value because the second string comes before the first. But if I were to change this so that string 1 is there and string 2 is there, that's going to give you a positive 1. And A comes right after B, so it's just a 1. But the difference there would depend on the letters. But you can use this with other values or methods or operations, sorry, just to basically see which different strings come alphabetically before other ones. And this is used very often to order lists alphabetically, and there are a lot of other applications for it too. So yeah, so this is basically all of the AP knowledge that is the most important for strings. And there are other things you need to learn as well. A lot of things that aren't tested on the AP test, but these are the basics, and hopefully this will help you along with learning about strings. So thank you very much, and hope you watch some of our other videos later.